Okay, here it starts. So here we are playing 11 cent actual real money tournament at Pokerstars. $250 guaranteed. And what is going to happen in this game is that, of course, I'm trying to win it, but also trying to somehow explain to myself what I'm doing here on every step of it. My initial thought is to try to play as tight as I can, at least on the first stages, as these tend to be quite aggressive. You might see like few hands usually in these tournaments going like normal tournament, but I wouldn't be surprised to see all in the next 15 minutes. And what to say, 900 players here left already. Few out. I would say that there's gonna be 300 out in the first half an hour. Of course, this changed a bit. There's also low stakes tournaments where people have the possibility to do a rebuy during the tournament, and then you gonna on those games you're really gonna see loads of and loads of all-ins. But at the moment it seems like it's quite ordinary game. One limp here, raise, call from a good position here, and guy from Uzbekistan thinking of all in or fold. Well, that's the usual phrase. I would have gotten a gut shot straight, meaning I would have need a 9. There's an 8 on the table and nobody wants to take a shot at it. For Adit, this would be a good place to try to take the pot, having the ace or the 8 or with complete air. And it would also require a lot of discipline from them to realize which game he is playing. Kind of makes sense. 7-9 offsuit under the gun. I should have instant folded that one because I'm just wasting other people's time when trying to play those kind of games. Explain to you or to myself like what I'm gonna do with this one, and if the answer is obvious that I'm gonna fold, then I just should do it. Maybe in a very passive loose table you could call with that one as well, if you would be fairly sure that nobody's gonna raise limps. But here we can already see a 3-bet, 4-bet, call. The blinds are $20, and we see pots of 1,000 probably on every hand. So playing tight here it's a good strategy. And here's the first all-in I was talking about. Was it 5 minutes? Sorry, I'm a bit off. I said under 15 minutes, but I don't think that's a record still, because I've seen in these kind of tournaments all-ins on the first hand, so nothing new here. Here I had the worst position to play game, but there might be a way for me to get in if I get like here 1 to 9 pot odds, paying 10 for 90 with one gap, deuce and four, fairly cheap flop. I still would have the pot odds, but uh, I thought waste of money. Because even if you don't hit the flop with a good position, you still have a possibility to get the best out of it. I mean, like bluffing, uh, floating, loads of options here, but I'm not in that game, so I lost few percentage of my stack there. Just to check the flop with no reason. I was hoping that Mr. Ocean wouldn't be betting there, but he did a small bet. I still didn't have enough reasons to get involved in there. But that's the thing I really don't understand. Let's see this hand again. At the beginning of the hand, there's already loads of players involved. We have 5 players and he raises $95 from, that's like 4 blinds. So everybody who's shown interest to the pot, they're not gonna go anywhere. And like we saw at the end, ace 7, it's not a hand that plays very well, especially with an out of position. But he was able to get a good price for it, so who am I to say? And everybody has effective stacks. But even with ace 7, it's a game where you get easily locked in that when you hit the ace, there is a good chance that it's still not the best hand, especially if somebody else sticks around. You could be facing an set or an ace with a better kicker, and if it's a worse kicker, then you're probably just gonna split the pot. Okay, here I have a good starting hand. I'm in mid position, meaning that there's 2 guys behind me after the flop if they get involved, but I'm not gonna get a free one here. My usual idea is of raising 3 times the blind plus every limp, so in this case it would be 120, which is 4 times the blind. With this kind of attitude you can cover like your range, that you keep your bets and everything on the same level. We already know that Ocean is aggressive and loose. Uzbekistan has shown some discipline, so I would say that maybe loose and passive. Hit it nice. There is a straight draw and a flush draw, so 3 players, I'm gonna do a continuation bet with 300, but it's not a bluff because I have the top pair. But against this guy I'm ready to go all in, even if he's with a set. I don't know. Flush draw. Okay, so we just need to avoid. Nice. I was thinking I was ahead, I was right, and it was not the best play because this is not a rebuy tournament, so if he would have made his flush I would be out of the tournament, and I consider all-in hands only when other people involved in the hand have a bigger stack than I do. Like for example, if I would go all in on this hand, it would not be an all in hand because I had the biggest stack on the table. And I could have been against a set or a pair of kings or aces, which would basically make me like running a light here. Well, it's kind of a situation where you're either a light year ahead or light year behind. But the flush draw was kind of like he was a bit behind. Ace was not an out, but still like 9 outs to go. So what I would say, 30 something, 35 maybe. I'm not good with the math, so I just remember some situations and I run a few times poker stove of all the possible combinations, what can happen in certain situations, but they don't always work out because of course there was a backdoor straight which might be giving a little bit more percentage than when it's only a flush draw. No, it was actually gut shot because he needed a king. Let's see the hand. Flop was 10. Oh yeah, it was a backdoor straight. Okay, now he doubled. I don't know what's going on here. Oh, he had aces. Oh, that's and I think that kind of played the hand. Okay. Well, aces. There's a 15% chance that you will lose. But that situation was funny because everybody had the jack, so they kind of took out from each other. He might go all in now, or not. I thought I was fairly sure because sometimes these kind of games, when people are thinking, they are thinking between folding or going all in. I had 2 overcards and a backdoor flush out of position, and there's a possible made straight already in the table, and people didn't invest in the beginning that much, so I'm just gonna give up and be happy that I already doubled up. And this tournament is a turbo, so it means like blinds will be going up every 5 minutes, meaning that after the hour blinds will be at 300, which means that everybody who has the original stack or below, they only have 10 blinds to go anymore, so you have to work very fast in this game. You don't have the luxury of waiting for good cards for a very long time. Here we could be playing against anything. There's the thing, he went in this game with pair of threes. He has 6 blinds, and I would thought that his idea should be either to go all in or fold. Oops, I raised. But I hit something, so there might be a 9 on the table, I don't know. Probably is. Now I have a flush draw. I'm just gonna continue betting and hope that nothing to gain here. might have had the 9. I would actually be surprised if he didn't have the 9 or the flush. Five eight offsuit, no deal. No deal at all. Okay, so now we have the game has gone for 17 minutes and already 300 people out. Of course, entries were 900 at the point, but my suspicion was that there's gonna be a lot of players out very early on the game. I could have also been out. If you remember, I had one all in hand with ace queen, and when I hit the queen, I bet, I got raised, I pushed all in and was a bit ahead. This might be a cheap flop to go, but from now on, he might be pushing. He didn't. That's surprising. And out of position raising, never a good idea. But sometimes good idea. Now he checks. I bet 250, representing a king. He's in a situation. Am I trying to steal the pot or not? But as you see, if he had ace something but not king, I had the position, so I mean, like even ace king, I would really consider of just calling here if there's many people shown interest, or go all in, but that depends on how much alcohol I drank that day. So, deuce and jack. Not very good. I would have bought odds here, but I'm not gonna be spending my money here. I already put too much in with my deuce 4. Maybe some other hand. Backdoor straight. 1 over card. But of course here in this situation I could try to bluff because I would have a position, but there would be 3 players against, so bluffing against several players, it's not a good idea to begin with. Especially it could be that even if trying to bluff, there's somebody playing a flush draw and they are hoping to get the free card, something else. Mid position king queen suited, definitely one of the premium hands, so I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna raise. So there's clever guys, they notice that I have limped a few times. But I've been raising with decent hands that could benefit the opposition to know that and that's a nice hit, so I'm gonna continue with bit below the flop because I hope that he goes crazy again, and because he would be leading against me only with a set of 4s, queens or kings, and he didn't seem to have kings or queens, so of course I could have checked that and hope that they react and check raise them, but I was kind of playing straightforward there. And he probably noticed that I do continuation bets with something in my hand. But anyways, I got there 7.5 blinds. Which is good. And if I maintain somewhere around 6,000 at the end of the hour, I have 20 blinds left because of the structure. It really requires that you have to kind of gear up and down very fast in fast-paced tournaments. You have to like play tight, but also look out for opportunities much more eagerly, and you have to be able to fold hands if you don't hit a good draw, or push people all in to maximize your value, but also like probably might not get that many chances. I mean, I've been playing a few turbos where I actually haven't played a hand in half an hour to 40 minutes, which is basically like super tight, maybe too tight even. But with normal structured games with plenty of participants, I think it's a game where you can actually like fold for an hour. I mean, I know even guys who play like aces, kings, queens and jacks only on the first hour, and ace king, ace queen, and they fold ace queen if any kind of resistance met. Ace 5, it was suited, so I kind of went for it, but otherwise ace 5 would not be that good. Pair of fours, it's kind of a hand where you only try to hit a set or a straight draw. Flush draws really don't work out very well. But hopefully I get an easy flop. He's thinking, and he's raising 150 or something, I don't know. 300. Obvious. But I still do get pot odds if they play, and amplified odds, meaning that if I hit my set, it's not 242,000, which is 1 to 4, which is my actual pot odds. I could actually make it a bit higher. And no 4. I'm just gonna wait for a while, check it, and see how he continues. And see he's playing against 2 other players behind him. And we've known that he can play ace 7 out of position, but also aces. And here's where I get out. He might go crazy. Didn't go crazy. Definitely has something, but it could be like 10 or 6. So how I see it's money wasted. But he can afford it. Here's a 10-6 suited. Not bad, but not premium either. But in a perfect position. So get a almost free flop, I think I might be going it, even though I was saying that I felt play tight, but I would say that now I hit 10, but that's might still not be the best hand for several reasons. My kicker is not good, there's a straight draw and a flush draw on the table, but what I can do is try to protect my hand when it's feeling strong. But 2/3, well actually because there's that many players I have to go for a pot. So I might get out backdoor people with backdoor draws, 7, 8, 6, 7. That's a flush made. But check. There's a do a continuation bet. Just check where I am. I'm putting about half the pot. So he could go all in with a flush or a bluff or not. But anyways, just check if he was where I stand at. Okay, now I have queens. Definitely I should raise. And like I said, 3 times pots limper, so 2, 3, 4, 5. 400, good enough. I could also do this with several other hands. Now I did hit great now. So what I'm going to do, I'm trying to look scared. So I do. But some people would say like, okay, that's a set. He's betting too little. But it also makes people nervous sometimes thinking that, okay, I'm trying to get the pot cheap bet, which is actually correct. But they could have been like in the mixture 5, 6. These kind of games I wouldn't be surprised because they can hit, and that would have been a good hit because there would be an open-ended straight draw. And I was giving the pot odds to Drew for it, so but I was still able to gather. Like I put there 5 blinds. I got paid by 2, so that's good. But I actually got there. Got through. No, the blinds were at 8, so 5 blinds, 400. 1.5 blinds and 2 calls, so 10 points extra. I mean, if I kind of had a monster hand, there was still like plenty of opportunities them to outdraw me. Well played. A set. And a tilt. Or made look like a tilt. Not an all-in hand in this situation. Especially not calling all-in hand. Against small stack you could really do well, and also if you're like chip lead you do those kind of calls. And even though I'm a chip lead, second in the lead on this table, in overall I'm not doing that well. I'm number for murder 187. Almost 2000 players, 1800 players and 600 out, so not really surprised. Busted. this is like in sit and go, one player out. I might even fold this, but not today. I also was thinking that but it's a loose table, so I don't know. But if this guy goes all in, I will call him. Now I had to uphold my promises oh, and he hit the queen twice. But I was still ahead, so I was kind of expecting that I will call it, and if I'm behind, then not very well played. But otherwise, good play, and I was in no situation of dropping out, so it wasn't really an all-in hand for me. I was more like in a situation that I could drop him out, and I wasn't seeing any pairs there. So 1 to 4 pot odds. I just have to take this. And I hit monster. 2 pairs. If he continues, I'm gonna... Well, let's hope he has the king now. So I'm gonna put 400 and 800 and hope that... Just slow playing ace queen. Pretty weird. And when okay, so if king would have not hit the table and it would have been like 10 or 9 or whatever, he might have pushed me forward, I think. Okay, ace king, this is the situation I was talking about earlier on. Because if I put 400 or 500 here, he might fold. I'm still against him or whatever, so because I'm first to act, I'm gonna hide it. I might be losing with this one, but also they don't really see me. Okay. I think I saved some money there. But I didn't see a reason to fold ace king. But like if I would be in this position, I could actually raise with the ace king. I'm gonna play low ball here, meaning I'm just gonna call a minimum raise. I get 1 to 2 pot odds, probably more if they call. He might be raising. He seems to be doing it without the position a lot. He or she has to really think all in or fold. So that's an easy out for me. And you people have fun there. And this is what kind of trouble you get unless you really have aces or kings or something, is that boom, there's one behind you, and even if this guy goes open-ended, but it was quite hefty. It would have been 1 out of 6, 1/6 of my hand or my stack, and I would have been the winning hand. Call with bottom pair. That's kind of good news. I'm just gonna note here. Plays all in the bottom pair. raises min at mid posi 6-7 offsuited, and the color is definitely green here. I have a open ender straight here, but no flush draw, and it's pushed in a lot. I'm not gonna go with the draw that might be inferior to flush draw, and he could also have flush draw and a 3 there. Other options are also involved, even though I've already seen the game from him. Not really surprised. Not surprised. A bit. But okay. Here we go. So we have at least one fish here. But I'm not gonna be going out and yelling to him. Okay. I raised previously with king, queen, but they were suited. But I'm gonna continue with the game, even though this is well, I could actually win blinds with this one, which would be good news, of course. And let's see the situation. So 900 players almost out after 38 minutes. And like I assumed, 10 to 3, mark my words, not the best hand. What we see here now is that, could say, do some notes. Raises with a7 from small blind, wide range believes in ace, and here I have good pot odds. I have almost 1 to 10 with king 7 suited, so I have a backdoor flush draw. 2 aces on the board. I could check where we are. If they do bets here, I might be folding. If he bets here, well, I'll be folding with king high. But I wouldn't also be surprised even if somebody would have the ace here. Wouldn't be surprised. But I'm gonna give him a bit credit for being aggressive, because I think it's kind of better to be aggressive even if you lose than being passive and lose, because you can still win pots with that kind of behavior without having anything in your hand, or even if you don't have like very good hand, which would be the reason to. And again we see the ace. Too much fate in the ace. Here's an all in 10 blinds. I have 9-8, but I have respect for this guy enough. If he would be playing like 90% of his hands or something similar, I might be like, but this guy might even go with ace deuce. I wouldn't be surprised about that one. Ace 5. there's some justice. Okay, this actually is good because he's now has smaller stack than I do, which means that once I get him trapped, I can actually drop him out, and even if he wins, I will still not lose. This guy is much more harder because he still has a bigger stack than I do. Even though this is a turbo tournament, I still believe that I might be able to get around him. And I did play ace 5. I know you still have the ace, but kind of in situations where it's hard to put yourself could have called that one, but also I would have been in trouble like after the flop because I might even fold here, so I would have required a lot of evidence that my ace 5 would be ahead. And we still didn't see his hand, but I kind of have respect for him, and he was playing with 10 blinds left, ace queen all in, even though it might scare somebody, but at least if somebody calls him, he might be leading like in the situation with Mr. Ocean from Kazakhstan. And magically 50% of the players out, and registration ends in 17 minutes, which means that loads of people are getting out of this tournament. And okay, now I have ace 4 suited, but I'm under the gun +1, so in this game when I still have to play against them, I don't feel well. Maybe I could test, maybe if they don't notice that I've been limping sometimes. And it is not like I'm not even polarizing my hands, I'm more like showing basically what I have in my hand based on my raises or not raises. Okay, here's a problematic situation. I have the ace, but my kicker is very bad, and I was expecting a continuation bet, and I might be behind. So I'm kind of like hoping to hit a 4. Of course, this might be a clever trap as well from my side, but I'm not really sure. It's from Lebanon. I'm just playing the ace, so ace was good. Oh, pair of tens, yeah. Well, that's a hand I can actually win with ace. So, but yeah, those were my options. I'm either behind or I'm ahead. And if dude had anything else, then ace, I lead. Except of course this possibility for set. Okay, this hand I played from mid position. Like I called with ace king, I will also call with king queen. He's gonna bet more probably. I'm gonna call it, so I'm trying to keep the... Oh, nice. I'm gonna... There's a possibility for straight.
check raise and see what kind of behavior that raises. Now they might be thinking that I have the 10 queen. I'm gonna continue. Of course I'm gonna call this 8-6. Crazy. And here's an interesting game. Pokerstars give away all-in shootout, lots of skills involved. Gonna follow that. I'm gonna fold this hand and think I was playing great with my ace-4 and with my queen. Like, not gonna happen. Even though I have the position, but he's playing quite much tighter range than straight. But well, okay, here we go. Skill game. Lost. Ace 10. That aside. 6-4. I would have a gut shot here. But nothing else really. Ace king. Now when I actually have a position against, okay, all in, I do have a recent stack reasonable against him, and good, and a win. Pair of sevens. I think I have enough respect from other people not to race against me. But also with pair of sevens, uh, if you get opposition, you really have to think: are you against pair or ace king? Well, in this Lebanon case, after seeing the game, I'm not sure. But I believe he's ace king all in, so I'm just a bit ahead. But I'm against aces, so I'm just a bit behind. Not much, but I would say justice. Well played, sir. And ace 8, I'm gonna just fold it like a normal grown-up person. So my range seems to be ace jack offsuit from here, at least on this tournament, so I don't see any reason to change that. And he pushed from small blind and won something. Okay, here's a chance to get a free flop. I'm not going to challenge that. I don't believe in his ace, so because of the pre-flop action, so I'm just gonna try to get the pot in, and it's not a bluff because I have actually a pair, so I'm going to be ahead anyways. And for this guy, I really haven't noticed his play, but I kind of give him respect for the reasons that he's, well, well, I mean, good players, even if they're playing bad, they kind of can know how to keep the people away from you, or even suspecting you, and I don't think that was even a bluff. But I've seen sometimes that when people are playing at kings and queens, and when they see the ace, they go all in because they're scared of the ace, which is kind of like opposite what we should be doing. I do have has less than 10 blinds, but I'm not gonna give him the chance to double up against me, even though I might have a like 30% chance to win against ace 5, something like that. Surprisingly, king jack wins, king ace wins, jack 9. Well, they were almost suited, so crazy move. But then again, he might have thought that this is going to be the best hand I'm gonna get. We're soon to the break, and it seems that more than 50% are already dropped out. There's few minutes for the break, and we're gonna continue at 3 o'clock. And crazy money there, $37.76 waiting for me. And even though my skill seems awesomely adjusted, I still not think that, well, pretty sure I'm gonna make it through the bubble because every second player gets there. Top 10 seems harder for several reasons, of course. One of them is that it's a turbo, so blinds go up very fast. And the second thing is that there might be a lot of bad players towards the end, but also there might be there's bigger chance of meeting tougher resistance and so on, so it's really hard to put yourself there. It's almost a break, so I'm gonna try to polarize my hands a bit and raise with 8-7 suited. I had to fold to an all-in. I didn't make it, and there's two guys behind me. I could still try to take this pot, so he can call me with everything, and I was able to get it with a continuation bet size of 1/3 of the pot, which was kind of crazy. But maybe it was one of those things that when betting too little, people actually expect you to get paid, and then people are like, oh, why do they want me to pay him? He's probably not just testing waters, he might actually have something very good. I mean, in that situation, 10 high would have beaten me, so gonna open my range a bit. I'm gonna just limp here and backdoor flush, but I have no reason to bet any more here. I think I can give up on this, and also this is good place because now I'm gonna be learning at least what these two are playing with. But he could play with any two because he had a on the big blind and my backdoor flush, of course. So we're gonna go on a break, and I'm gonna be putting this off and hopefully later returning on the second episode of this Majestic 11 cent tournament.